But in fact, to my way of thinking as an economist, inequality is a terrible, terrible problem. But there's one that I worry about even more, and that's social immobility. And what you find is that if you are born into a poor family, you tend to stay in a poor family. And if you're born into a very rich family, unless you do something really dumb, you end up fairly rich. And the amount of inequality or in social mobility over decades, you can see here the very powerful diagonal. If you begin in the bottom quintile, there's a 50% chance you'll end up in that bottom quintile. If you begin in the top quintile, there's a 50% chance you'll end up there, and about a 75% chance you'll end up in the fourth or fifth quintile. A decade later, same thing but getting worse. The immobility from quintile to quintile has been growing over time. One way to do it is to compare how much intergenerational mobility there is across countries. And we share the dubious distinction with the United Kingdom to be among the lowest countries in developed worlds in terms of the ability of somebody who grows up in one kind of family ending up somewhere else. France, Germany, Sweden, Canada, Finland, Norway, Denmark. In Denmark, you're 3 times more likely to move from the bottom quintile into an upper quintile relative to the United States. What were the characteristics of leaving the bottom? Well, between ages 25 and 34, 35 and 54, 44, it's education. In the United States, education gets you out of the bottom quintile. And therefore, as we look around and finding it more and more expensive to go to a private university like Northeastern, worse yet, more and more expensive to go to a great university like UMass Amherst or one of our state universities, including Framingham State or here, Framingham State University, this becomes a problem because that's the way out. Not for everybody, but for many people. And what, here you can see how important education is, and what gets you to drop out of the upper class? More than anything else, it's disability. Either you get hooked on something or you get sick or hurt. In fact, the keys to social mobility are education and training, from preschool to K through 12, to vocational high schools, to community colleges, and access to 4-year universities. Those are what matter. Finding ways in our community to make that possible through what the federal, state, and local government does and what we do through philanthropy is the key to intergenerational mobility. But you also want to reduce downward mobility by reducing disability. And that means health care is important, and it means healthy lifestyles are important.